Hello, my friends. How are y'all doing out there today? I hope you are doing well. Today, we are going to talk about how Donald Trump still is trying to be the big, bad, tough world bully, and countries like Canada, especially Canada and Mexico, who is also standing their ground down there, continue to whip Donnie's chunky ass all over the world stage with his failed economic policies, because this is quite fascinating to me that Donald Trump has come into the office and thought that he was going to be the bully of the world and take control of everything and tell everyone what to do, and it is backfiring massively in his face. He's too dumb to know that, but that's exactly what's happening. So we're going to talk about how Canada continues to stand up for themselves. The world is coming together against us, which kind of sucks, right? It's not the greatest situation for us reasonable Americans to be in, but we'll talk about it as we go through it, I guess. Anyways, make sure you check out the pinned comment. It has a link to the Discord if you want to join our community there, a link to my Blue Sky if you would like to follow me there, and last but not least, a link to the channel memberships that are only $1.99 a month, and they just help to support the channel for when I go off the fucking rails over here and YouTube says I can't monetize a video. For example, now the last 3 videos have gotten hit with limited monetization because I can't stop running my fucking mouth apparently. So if you want to help out by supporting the channel that way, $1.99 a month for channel membership. So let's get into what is going on. First thing we need to know is the upcoming economic depression that will probably surely hit America is 100% Donald Trump's fault. We don't get to do the bullshit with these bobbleheads running around going, Joe Biden did it, Joe Biden crashed the damn economy, because by every measurable metric out there under the Joe Biden administration, look at me how I don't give one man credit for things because I'm not dumb as hell, but under the Joe Biden administration, the economic indicators were all pretty fucking positive. So anybody that tells you Joe Biden crashed the economy, you need to understand that that person's not very intelligent at very least, or they're very gullible and believe the propaganda media outlets out there that fill their head full of fucking lies. We are past the point of being able to blame Joe Biden for this coming economic crash that is surely going to hit us pretty fucking soon if we don't figure out ways to get Donald Trump to stop acting like a fucking idiot. I don't think that can be done. That's sort of in his nature, right? Anyways, because Donald Trump has no concept of how things work, or because he's a Russian asset, one of the two, Donald Trump is hell-bent on absolutely destroying America's economy. He is doing that mainly by stupid fucking trade wars. Donald Trump is only using tariffs because it's the only thing in his little toolbox that apparently he's allowed to do without congressional approval or anything like that. He can just get real grumpy about something and he can start throwing tariffs on people. Now, we know that Donald Trump is not winning these trade wars. I think it's fucking amusing that Mexico just goes, oh yeah, we'll make you a deal, and then they do the thing that they've already agreed to with Joe Biden, and Donald Trump takes a victory lap, and a bunch of dumb motherfuckers follow along and say, hell yeah, he fucking won. And then Canada goes, wink wink, we made you a border czar or a fentanyl czar, Donald Trump. He's going to take care of all that fentanyl. And Donald Trump takes a victory lap about how he fucking won. Anyways, Canadians, you are my friends, except that one fucking Canadian. One Canadian is getting on my fucking nerves, and I'm going to talk about it for just a minute. They are running through my comments like a fucking lunatic, telling me that I am no longer allowed to use the term 51st state. Look, it's what Donald Trump is saying. I'm not going to water down the language. We are literally dealing with potentially a Nazi regime in America. We don't have time to water down our fucking language. So that Canadian in particular is on my fucking nerves, but most of the Canadians are pretty fucking cool. I enjoy that you guys have found my channel and we're having these conversations. The reason I bring this up is because I don't understand Canadian politics that well. I'm still trying to wrap my head around what the fuck is going on here. It's a shit show if you guys haven't heard. It's real bad. Anyways, I understand you guys got a new Prime Minister, Mark Carney, I believe is his name. I don't know a lot about him. As an outsider looking in, I see him as pretty intelligent, willing to stand up for his country. well-spoken, knowledgeable on the economy. And look, maybe he's not any of those things, but you know who my president is? Donald Trump, and that guy's dumb as fuck. So a lot of world leaders look very intelligent by comparison. So I don't know, Canadians, how you feel necessarily, and that's up to you. You can figure it out. If you like the guy, you don't like the guy, it'll probably be like politics in most countries, where it's pretty evenly split, like, don't like, whatever. But Canada, obviously, unified in a way that America will never see, I don't think. We'll never see again. I think we were probably unified maybe after 9/11, but kind of not really. We're conspiracy theorists down here, and we were talking about, is it an inside job? Did George Bush do this shit on purpose? You know, I don't know how unified we were necessarily after 9/11, but Canada is really coming together. And one thing I noticed about Mark Carney that I like is he basically is like, hey, we're not gonna put up with Donald Trump's bullshit. If he wants to do this, we can fucking do this. And he's doing what I would think are some impressive things. For one, not allowing Donald Trump to pretend to be a bully on the world stage. I'm sure that's very fucking intimidating. And Donald Trump, that's a weird, interesting name for him now, isn't it? Who cares what his fucking name is? Insignificant fuck. Anyways, Donald Trump is an unhinged fucking lunatic, all right? We don't know necessarily how he is going to respond when he doesn't get his way, which makes this a very scary situation for everybody on the other side of Donald Trump. It makes it a scary situation for me. Hell, they're trying to fire journalists. They are threatening journalists with prison. He is saying that what MSNBC and CNN and things do, Donald Trump is saying that that's illegal. Which is bizarre coming from the free speech party now, isn't it? They mean free speech as long as you say the shit that they like. The point is, I don't know if you'd consider me a journalist, but it's pretty easy to make a guy like me disappear in this country if you've got a lot of power and money, is all I'm fucking saying. I can understand how this would be a scary thing. And we don't know if Donald Trump will go so far as to threaten or take military action. We don't know, because he's an unhinged fucking crazy person. To my Canadian brothers and sisters, I want you to know that I will not participate in that. If that were to be a thing that happened, it's entirely possible. I will park the truck, I will go home, and I will not contribute to America's society. I will just make some videos and hope for the fucking best. I won't participate in something like that. But Mark Carney says, look, he goes out and he starts working on, you know, these other trade agreements, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Canadians, but strengthening relationships with other countries around the world. I understood, or I heard, that traditionally when Canada has a new prime minister, their first place they go is to America, their American neighbors, to meet the president of the United States, where he just said, fuck that, and he went over to like Europe somewhere to hang out over there instead. Essentially saying to America, look, we're not enemies, but we ain't really fucking friends right now either with the way you guys are acting over there. So I think I applaud him for making that move. That sends the message to Donald Trump for what he's doing. But he has made some really good speeches that I've watched already, talking about what Canada has to offer to the world, as far as things that could be rolled into trade agreements with other countries around the world. And he said, hey, look, we'll just get stronger. We'll improve our economy. I think he said something along the lines of, we will improve our economy while America destroys theirs. And he is 100% correct when he says that, because since Donald Trump has taken office, he has done nothing but wreak havoc on the American economy, which is what he's here to do. Remember, he's a Russian asset. He is 100% here to take down the American economy, the American government, because nothing else makes any fucking sense. No reasonable person would let this fucking happen, but we live in a very unreasonable country. This is, like I said in yesterday's video, this is going to go down in history as the most cowardly leaders of America that this country has ever fucking seen. The most spineless fucking shitheads that have ever existed. They're just so desperate to hold on to power that they are doing whatever Donald Trump says. And it's scary. It is a very scary thing. But through Donald Trump's stupid fucking trade wars, God, I mean, everything else that the fucking idiot has done. The Dow Jones, for example, has lost basically all of its gains over the last 6 months. I mean, we are talking trillions of dollars wiped off the fucking table in response to Donald Trump's trade war. Speaking of the stock market, good for everybody keeping their foot on the neck of the Tesla stocks. Good job. I took my little stand yesterday. I was telling you about my cute little Acorns account. It doesn't have much money in it. I was trying to remove Tesla from the ETF. Little side note, we'll get back to the point in a minute. I was trying to remove Tesla specifically from the ETF. I didn't have a way to do that. It wouldn't let me remove it. So for now, not financial advice, I just moved it into a portfolio that's just like US bonds for now while I figure out what to do. But anybody out there that is in like an ETF or anything like that, ETF, I forget which way that is. I think it's ETF. You might look and see that you have investments in Tesla, and you might look for a different portfolio to help bring the value of that stock down. Like I said, not investment advice, but I feel better knowing that I am not putting any money into Tesla at all. Point is, some Canadians, I mean, all Canadians are very upset. Some Canadians are having trouble, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, Canadians, because it's very scary, I understand, but having trouble figuring out which way to direct that anger. What the fuck is going on? And when an American talks, they might have the tendency to be like, fuck you, which I understand. I get it. Trust me, these are scary times. But when I was talking about this similar topic last time, I said this is going to take a world response to stop this insanity from fucking happening, because the world shockingly hates fucking bullies. This is not going to go over well on the world stage, as we've already seen. Donald Trump trying to throw his weight around and tell everybody else what they're going to do. It's not going to end well at all. I don't know how it's going to end. I know it's not going to end well. But when I said it was going to take a world response, I did have a few Canadians that were very upset that said, you need to fucking handle this. This is your problem. I understand. We do need to handle this. We need to do everything we can in our power, us reasonable, still patriotic Americans that care about our country instead of one orange fucking lunatic man. We need to find every roadblock we can find to stand in their fucking way. That's what we're doing with Tesla, all right? We are sinking that stock, and that's being done on a global scale as the world is just not buying Teslas anymore. You're 100% right. We need to handle this too. We need to take care of this shit, right? But this is very similar to Nazi Germany. Very fucking similar. You can go back through all the similarities. And I always wondered, how do seemingly free countries end up with like a dictator in power? And the shocking thing about it, my friends, is it turns out they vote for it. Can you believe that? So in America, we have been under a brainwashing campaign by right-wing media for at least the last 30 years. This is the chickens coming home to roost, my friends. These people have been led to believe by outlets like Fox News that the Democrats are doing all kinds of shit that's not even real, but they believe every fucking bit of it. It's a fucking a scary thing, right? But we, as reasonable Americans, need to make our voice heard. We need to stand up. We need to say something. There's protests in the streets. There's people boycotting things like Tesla, even though Donald Trump says it's illegal. We're over here breaking the fucking law, according to Donald Trump, okay? What I'm doing right now, speaking out against Donald Trump, according to Donald Trump, is illegal. I'm over here breaking the fucking law right now. That's what he said, okay? So we all need to do it, right? All of us still patriotic Americans, those that care about our friends and our family immediately around us, but those of us that care that Canadians have lives too that they still want to enjoy, Mexicans have lives too that they still want to enjoy. We all need to stand up. But the point of all of that is this takes a global fucking response, okay? And I gotta be honest with you when I say this, I am so fucking proud of you, Canada, because you did not bow down. You are not willing to be bullied, and I fucking respect the hell out of Canada for the way, not only their government is, they're not like stoking the fire and starting a bunch of shit, but they're saying, hey, we're gonna stand up for ourselves, okay? But the way the Canadians have come together and fucking said, we don't support America, we're not buying their products, we're not doing any of this bullshit. This is the kind of response it takes in these kind of times, right? The world has to fucking respond, and you're doing it, all right? You're doing it. You're slowing them down because that's all we got right now on our side is time. We got to be roadblocks. We got to be speed bumps. We got to be everything we can to slow this process down so that people around the world can start figuring out what the fuck do we do about this. How exactly do we stop this process from happening? And Canada and Mexico, I want to give you credit where it's due also. You both have come together to get him to back off of his trade wars twice now, okay? You're making a mockery of this man on the world stage because as he goes in for Trade War 3, which he probably will, everybody's just going to laugh. And everybody's just going to say, who gives a fuck? Right? And when you take such a fragile man like Donald Trump and you take away his power to be the bully that he thinks he is, you slow them down significantly. Now, my only concern is we don't know how Donald Trump will respond. We know that there's way too many people in high places in our government that are bootlicking simps for Donald Trump, that may carry out illegal orders from Donald Trump. And that's the fucking scary thing. So I think what Canada is doing is important, and I hope that their leaders are paying attention and forging those alliances, strengthening those alliances around the world. Because when you watch crazy people like this rise to power, there has to be a world response to that. It's scary, isn't it? It's fucking just scary to think about with all this shit. But my point with all that is I don't really know. I'm trying to process that in my own fucking head. It's scary times, obviously. And there are a lot of people that believe the bullshit of the right. I was watching Carney give his speech. It was a live stream earlier. I don't know if he was specifically live, but whoever was hosting it was live streaming it. And there were people in the comments that believe these right-wing talking points. Americans, they could have been Russian assets, I don't know. But they believe that Canada owes us something. They believe that it is our right to annex Canada right now. What I'm trying to say is there's scary fucking people out there right now. So far, I am impressed by a lot of responses here in America and on the global scale. And I still believe that Elon Musk is the weakest link in all of this. And if we can keep pushing that man towards bankruptcy, we, at very least, we as the world make an example of him. And let people know that the world is not having this shit. I think it's very important that we keep pressure on that Tesla stock, that we keep pressure on Elon Musk, and we keep doing everything we... belch. I'm such a sexy man, ain't I? I just had tacos. Anyways, these fucking videos are so absurd sometimes. Anyways, we got to keep the pressure up, my friends. Sometimes it's going to feel like we're not making any progress at all, and then when everybody comes together, we see Tesla stock lose half of its fucking value in just 3 months. We see Donald Trump pull off of trade wars twice. We see France say, give us back our fucking Statue of Liberty, asshole, you don't deserve it anymore. We see shit like that, and it's going to take us all. Because like it or not, hate America, whatever you want to think of us, I understand it. We are a global superpower. And we've got a fucking lunatic that wants to be the world bully at the helm of that global superpower. This is going to take us all, my friends. That said, love you guys. Bye now.